starting point.
I hate
That's
to
so much money.
I hate
You
to
can
say,
say
guys,
what you think.
No, I just hate to say it, but the gap is growing, and the gap isn't going to shrink, and there will be the great divide. It's going to happen, guys, whether it's 3 years, 5 years from now. And what it looks like, I'm not sure. I mean, that's why I was so opposed to the new group of 5, top 25 poll. Those things are meaningless, but that's kind of an important wedge that people can stick in there. I don't like that. I want Boise State to fight for their little slice of the pie with the big guys, but I don't think it's a fight that they can win. Certainly not on their own. Mike Oresko with the American Athletic Conference, as much of a blowhard as he was, he stood up for the Boise States and his schools.
And Craig
in the world.
Thompson didn't.
No,
he never did.
He did it differently. He just did it differently.
Okay. That's what they say in divorce courts.
Yeah.
That's like ridiculous.
And I know what it's like in divorce courts.
Yeah,
so.
you know it.
Actually, that's not true. I did them all myself and never had to go to court.
You did it differently.
Yeah, I did it differently. I did it differently.
Craig Thompson drove me nuts that way. He never did anything. And
I felt that way for the first half of his tenure, and toward the back half of his tenure, I felt completely different. So we'll save that one for another time. But it's the great divide's happening, guys, and Boise State can't stop it.
So a scene from a movie comes to mind: Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
The ball coming down the.
Well, no, he's reaching for the Holy Grail. There's like a split. Indiana Jones, it's Harrison Ford. Yeah. And Sean Connery puts his hand on his shoulder and he's like, give it up, basically. Like it's too far of a reach across this chasm.
You know what you got to reach for?
It's a good analogy, but
do we have a chance right now? Is that chasm close enough that we can get on the other side of it?
No.
I
don't think so.
Yes. Can I paint, better analogy?
Oh, better?
I like
not a better. Different.
It better be Back to the Future.
Infinity War. Infinity.
You
haven't even seen it because
just say it.
Do you watch Marvel movies?
No.
I don't watch
this.
Bad. Doctor Strange.
Movie. Come on.
You know how
he?
So the whole premise is Doctor Strange takes a time stone and he looks at like 14 million opportunities, and there's only one that turned out right, and here it is for BSU. Okay. We go to the playoff this season.
Okay.
And then we potentially go to the playoff next season. And we're relevant, and then we grab onto the the dress coattails of whoever we can, and we get included, or relegation. That's my only other thing. If you could get relegation.
Here's my hope. And this is potentially possible, okay?
Could have.
It's going to take 10
it's a possibility.
Here's my hope. Is that at some point, the top schools, not just the Big Ten and the SEC, but the top schools of those leagues are going to say, yes, we're subsidizing FBS football right now. And they are, and they're dividing away. But at some point, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, whatever, are going to say, we're subsidizing Indiana too, and Vanderbilt, and Iowa State, and whatever. And my kind of hope, because I agree with you, the way it's going, we're going to be on the wrong side of history here. Yep. My hope is that those top Alabama, the top 20 to 30, actually do go fully pay their players, totally leave, do their own thing, and then we are somehow in that next group that includes your BYUs, probably your Utahs, your Houstons, basically the Big Ten, ACC schools that get left behind, and the ones from those other schools. My thing is I can see that happening because eventually, the Big Ten, the SEC break away, but there's still always this, we're feeding the mouths of the bottom half of our leagues.
Yeah, but they have to have them.
They don't have to have them. They don't. The NFL doesn't have the bottom half.
Yeah, but they have more parity than, anybody else.
But there's only 32 teams in the NFL. They have 64 whatever in those top
69 or whatever.
They got a lot, and they're not all pulling their weight.
There's a lot of contracts involved. Granting rights is a phrase you guys have been hearing a lot in the last couple of years. So, and just keep an eye. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong, although I think you're wrong.
What do you think? What do you think will happen?
Keep an eye on the ACC. What's going on in the ACC? That's going to be the canary in the coal mine, if you ask me. The ACC fight and how that's all going to shake out in Clemson and Florida State.
They're going to bail. They're going to leave. We know.
I think so.
They're going to leave.
But it's based on all these grant and right contracts and all this stuff that's legal that I don't even want to know. So if they can bust through that barrier, maybe. You might be right. I have a feeling that they won't, and they're going to stay in the ACC, and we'll see how it shakes out. But we'll see. But no, I think I don't see that happening. Yeah. I don't see that happening. The good news is that the Idaho Vandals will be a third tier.
Yeah.
That's good, right?